Just came across a teaching moment. This tree here is a pear. It's about, oh, it's getting to be about 20 feet tall. I planted it probably 12 years ago, I want to say. I planted a whole lot of trees all out through here. Put them in tree tubes. And there's nothing out there. This is the only one that survived. This little, oh, here's a crab apple over here. It's still alive. Look at it. Well, no, it's not still alive. It's broken. I planted spruce. I planted crab apples, shrubs, nothing. I don't have anything out there. And then about, I want to say 20 years ago, I jumped on the bandwagon. You know, it was all the rage to plant these where are they? Sawtooth oaks. Where's my sawtooth oak? Oh, it's down here. So it was really sexy to buy these sawtooth oaks. There's one there. But there's a really good example of one that got into the sunlight and really took off. That thing's 25 plus feet tall. I don't know if you can see them. But when I bought those, here's a small one. When I bought these, guaranteed acorns in 5 years, right? So 20 years, there's one that's in full sun. It's tall. It's pretty nice, pretty impressive really, but there isn't an acorn anywhere. But the point is, I guess, learn from my mistake. Don't waste 20 years like I just did. And make sure you plant something that is adapted to your region. Sawtooth oaks were way too far north for them. If you're going to plant something for deer, an apple tree that was propagated in your area is a good choice. I planted some apples back in there and a bear broke them all off. Anything that you put in a tree tube, a bear will break. Anything that a deer can get his hands on or get his mouth on is gonna die, because the deer ate even my spruce buds. The landowner and I planted spruce all around here, and there's only a couple left, and the ones that were left, a buck rubbed all the bark off. Even that pear tree is all rubbed. So it's almost an exercise in futility to try to plant trees that aren't native to your area. You're way better off spending your time and money just taking a chainsaw, going out through there and let shrubbery come up, whatever is growing, let it come up and the deer will eat it. Native plants, there's some dogwood that came in. I planted cranberry, but that's native to this area, and it did really well until the birch got too tall and shaded it out. It was fruiting like crazy. So your native viburnums, it's a whole family of viburnums. There's hundreds of shrubs you could plant. Your dogwoods, they're all adapted to different soil types, so you got to figure out what kind of soil and drainage you have, and don't worry about pH for trees, but moisture is critical when you're picking trees. You could have too much, you could have too little, and then some trees, they can handle just about anything. So do your research. You're gonna have to put up a deer-proof fence to keep the deer off of them. Either that or kill a lot of deer and keep them mowed down. But deer will polish off any tree that you plant that's out of a nursery, because it's got a lot of lush growth. There's a lot of nutrients from the potting soil. Deer know that. If there's two trees, one is from seed from the wild and one is out of a nursery, the one out of the nursery is going to get eaten. So I just wanted to point that out. It's just disappointing when you spend money and you put a lot of work. There was a lot of effort to plant this stuff, and it hasn't done me any good, or the landowner any good. But what's better is the thicket that we created here. And the only way we got it was to fence the deer out. So even if you don't have, you think you don't have a lot of deer, you probably have more deer than you think. It doesn't take a lot of deer to polish off all your regeneration. So keep that in mind when you're planting trees and you're buying nursery stock. Put a good fence, good solid hog wire fence around them. I'd rather spend 25 bucks on a tree that has a great root system, has some size to it already, and plant it correctly. Make a nice big hole, put some native topsoil, maybe a little extra brought in topsoil, and put some mycorrhizal fungi in there to get that a good start. And then make sure you keep the bears and the deer off of them. I have some areas that we did it that way, and they're all surviving and thriving. I don't know when we'll see apples, but eventually there'll be apples there. It'll be a big draw. All right, I'm gonna overseed this food plot. I'll see you.